I found another story that we covered. Megan Thee Stallion accused of harassment by cameraman who said he was forced to watch her have intercourse with a female. Do you remember that story? He was locked in a car.
Oh yeah, that one. That's a very old one. Fair use.
You mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Crazy. He might just walk. Or might not. RJ.
Hey man, do you know KaiR? Well, I knew him back then. I haven't spoken to him in years since I started doing this politics. Since I started running for politics.
Says some nasty stuff.
There's some nasty stuff. So I think that's when when it bust open is what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. And they don't know the pause. So he just continues, right?
Yeah.
Straight through it.
But in any case, hey, KaiR, we have some very interesting topics to discuss today. Before we proceed, of course, I want to remind our followers, well, first and foremost, thank you for tuning in and giving us your support. We're growing the channel slowly but surely. We're seeing more and more subscribing and commenting, engaging with us. So we do appreciate that. Thank you. As we previously announced, we will be launching a new email list next week. If you haven't done so already, stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel.
Let's jump right into this Diddy Trump situation. I mean, it's been quite a busy week. A lot of things happened in court. We're gonna cover a couple of them. Just get a brief overview of what happened. But the latest one is Diddy being discussed in the White House, and like we opened up the show for today. Trump will look into it, but he also remembers the nasty things that Diddy said to him when Diddy said some wild things. For someone who you used to call a friend, someone you know, Diddy was talking crazy about Trump, all kind of R-word, R-sisms.
R-sisms, okay. What else do you have, KaiR?
No, it's I mean, that's and now you see sometimes you gotta keep your friends close and shut your mouth about your enemies or who you consider your enemies. I don't know. But then he has also more enemies because he gathered a couple of them throughout the years. And one of the biggest ones is, of course, 50 Cent. Oh, 50 Cent mingle. As soon as you hear 50 Cent and Diddy, you know he's gonna try to do something. He said the following. He said, by the way, I'm gonna quote what 50 Cent said. He said some really bad things about Trump. It's not okay. I'm gonna reach out so he knows how I feel about this guy. So he's gonna contact Trump.
That's what he
give
said.
Him some insights. Well, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. I can only believe what he says. I'm gonna contact Mr. President. I have a direct line to the White House as the #1 rapper in the USA. I'm gonna tell him how Diddy was talking crazy about him. Trump. Am I talking to Donald? Mr. President, Diddy threatened you to take you out to buy new clothes. RJ.
I'll tell you. So Fetty is a very petty person, man. But so entertaining, so entertaining to watch him just go on his rants, just go on his bullying Why is it bully? I think it's like some sort of
Yeah, it's kind of a bully. He's kind
Bully.
of making sure
a troll.
Everyone-
Troll is the. I guess troll is a proper word. Trolling. He's trolling. He trolls. He's a petty troller, man.
Wow. Sometimes it's bully,
you
but
know,
okay.
here-
I understand
here,
where you're
he-
going.
Yeah, yeah. He will. I mean, it won't surprise me if he really does reach out to.
He
my
will. I believe him. I
Yeah,
believe him. And I know he has the contacts, RJ.
yeah, I think.
I
so
know
too.
he has the contacts to reach to him. He's gonna cut off his last lifeline. Then he's
No
gonna be
pardon for you.
scrambling and scraping for his freedom.
just like he likes it.
Just how he likes it. Yes. Just how he
Just
likes
how
it.
Diddy likes it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, it
Diddy
is what it
said,
is.
I like it when you're What did he say?
I
When
like
you're
it when you scrambling and scraping, Daddy. That's how I like it.
That's crazy.
Jesus, that's still one of the craziest moments. I think one thing for sure, when Diddy is they have to, if the prosecution wants to know what really happened, they have to feed him some liquor and have him sit there at the stand. Well, it can go left as well. Start talking crazy to the prosecutor. But anyway,
Right.
let's see what happened during this week, because there's a lot of people that went on the stand. We had people who went on the stand and started giving interviews. Gonna take a look real short at one of the guys one of the male companions that gave interview to CNN. Gonna dive in real quick to see what he had to say. And we're gonna first start with Capricorn Clark, Diddy's former assistant, who revealed during her testimony at Diddy's trial, well, her first working day, and more. Let's see some of the highlights. RJ, you can read them. I'm gonna show it to you right now.
Here are some highlights from her testimony so far. Capricorn Clark says she was accused of stealing jewelry and was taken to a locked room at 1710 Broadway on the 6th floor for 5 days, where she was forced to take lie detector tests. Diddy's bodyguard told her during the interrogation that if the lie detector test gave a bad reading, she would be thrown into the East River. Yo. It sounds like a Game of Thrones line, man.
God, man.
Capricorn witnessed Diddy violently kicking Cassie Ventura in a fetal position, describing Cassie being kicked all the way to the street while silently crying. This occurred after Diddy discovered Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi. Capricorn testified that she saw Diddy return to her apartment in a torn sweater holding a blicky, yelling, quote, "We're going to murk this ninja," end of quote, and forcing her to leave with him to confront Kid Cudi. Capricorn later called Cassie's mother, Regina Ventura, to report that Diddy was kicking Cassie and urged her to call the police as she felt she couldn't call herself. Diddy threatened Capricorn multiple times, including saying, quote, "I should unalive you, itch base, and I should carve your..." I think carve was even worse. Face.
Open it up
Yeah, and
like
quote,
Moses.
and warned her she would never work again. Capricorn stated Diddy's hotel bags often contained cameras, baby oil, and lube, and he would use aliases like Frank Black and Frank White to book rooms. Weird, because it was right there, KR. He could have used another word, Frank Black, Frank White,
He's not gonna use it because it's too obvious. Probably
Frankfurt. That's good.
too obvious. Too obvious.
Frankfurt. You knew where I was going with that one. So maybe it was too obvious. Diddy instructed Capricorn to obtain
Betty
what's
White.
it?
Betty
Toots-
White.
Tootsie,
Tootsie. Yeah, Tootsie.
an X for him in different locations, including using a Spanish security guard to get the Betty White in the south of France.
Probably the same bodyguard who was helping Jordan's son. What's his name again?
Vive la France. Which one?
The one that's smoking, smoking, sniffing, and
Yeah.
used to date Pippin's ex-wife, Marcus. Marcus.
Yeah,
Jordan.
I know you're talking about Marcus, but you're talking about the bodyguard. Oh, the one, because he was also looking for that Betty White in the south of
He
France.
was
For,
in France as well, in
was
south of
in
France.
yeah,
That's the link. Yes.
Capricorn Clark testified that while working for Diddy, she was only paid $55K a year and that she only got 4 hours of sleep on a good day and on a bad day 2 hours of sleep. Capricorn said Diddy ripped up a document from HR showing she was owed 80K in overtime and later retaliated by terminating her, costing her all of her benefits, health insurance, and 401k.
They were doing all these things. That's one of the things when I was reading, and of course I followed the inner city press interview and his tweets. We're gonna take a look later today as well. On some of them, one thing I thought when I saw it was like, you guys are doing all this for 55K? Are you guys crazy?
But let's be honest. They're probably getting more benefits, right? So probably getting food, access to parties.
That's the only reason. Probably they get access to I think, RJ, sometimes the older I get, the more I realize that a lot of people out here, they just want access to the parties, access to be able to talk to these people that are well known, so you have bragging rights.
But KaiR, let's be honest, okay? So we need to be
frank, but not black,
but not forth. I think that we have to keep in mind that, because we had the same discussion, there was another artist whose assistant said that she was underpaid. She was looking for an assistant. Do you remember that story? There was a story.
We covered a lot of stories over these past 3 years, so I can't. And that says a lot. If you can remember, usually you can remember which stories we cover. I don't remember this story.
But I'm not sure if we covered this one. This was a lady. I want to say female rapper, controversy assist. I guess that's a very broad term.
That's a very broad one, yes.
I can't recall. Maybe it was Nicki. Maybe it was Nicki Minaj.
No.
I don't know. It was Nicki. I think
Guys,
one
let
of
us
them.
know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
But
what
she was saying. So the assistant went out and said that she was getting underpaid, or he was getting underpaid, and basically, I don't know if it was Nicki or the artist was saying, yeah, but listen, you're talking about what she was receiving in her hand. All trips were paid for, sometimes business class. Stay was paid for.
Wasn't it Megan Thee Stallion who had a problem like that?
That's what I said. One of those Megan Thee Stallion. Let me just be more specific, because if I put in controversy, I'll get another story.
you get another story. You get dance HB dance.
Yeah, it was I think it was Megan, but she was saying like, hey, she was the assistant was getting so much other benefits, and it's like, hey, what else do you want from me?
RJ, it's you can say all flights were paid for, yes, but I'm your assistant, so you're supposed to pay for it.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same one.
Whatever. So let's say okay,
what I want to say is that if
the food, I would say, okay, that's true. But if I'm your assistant and you want me to assist you at all times, you have to pay. What do you want me to pay my own flights to work for you? That's like, nah, anyway. So I understand.
Yo, Megan is a wild one, man. Just
you got it. Was I right? Was it her?
I found another story that we covered. Megan Thee Stallion accused of harassment by cameraman who said he was forced to watch her have intercourse with a female. Do you remember that story? He was locked in a car.
Oh yeah, that one. That's a very old one. Yeah.
I mean, Megan is crazy, man. Megan is crazy. But yeah, just to get back, so the story, I don't recall. It could be. Guys, let us know in the comment section, as KaiR just said.
I think it's more the access.
It's the access, and it's still worth.
Access.
It's how much is it worth, KaiR, to be in a room, to meet Denzel Washington, to meet your idols. You know, it's.
If you're tied to the hip to someone else, it's very hard to do anything.